right, beautiful ones. Welcome to this beautiful live session, an aura to aura experience. So usually what I do in these live transmissions is that I prepare the field and we will come into the field together to activate the field of energy and light. And I will sense and feel what is coming up for all of us. And we will tap into that. And the transmission does not come from my mind. It is absolutely coming in through spirit. It's coming in from the cosmic view, the cosmic viewpoint of what we are living through right now and how we can truly bring forward our divine essence in this human experience. So know that we are not here to escape. We are here to really bring forth our light, because the human experience is truly an initiation for our soul. And the intention here is for you to fully honor your soul calling, no matter how scary or how deeply embroiled in the unknown it feels like. May this be an experience that will completely activate you into your next level. So let's come into full presence for just a moment here. And hello, if you're joining me on Instagram, I think I see Hillary. Welcome. Everyone else, you can just follow me into the field, allowing yourself to sit. If you're seated, allow yourself to really feel your sit bones. And if you are operating a heavy machine when you're watching this or listening to this, please don't do so. But if you are here, just allow yourself to be fully here. And while your eyes are still open, I would love for you to just defocus your gaze. You can center your gaze upon something like a tiny dot or something on the wall or my face, but just let your gaze completely defocus so that you blur the boundaries, you blur the edges of your vision. And start to soften your gaze into an inner smile. Take a deep breath in through your third eye, all the way into your belly. Deep, long breath, hold it. And exhale it out deeply and let it be long. As you do so, allow your body to relax. Allow your eyes to close. And allow the light to come into the center of your head. This liquid light, pure divine light. Let the light slowly move down to the back of your head. And like liquid, just thick, sensual liquid, let it flow down the back of your neck, relaxing the back of your neck to the shoulders. Let it relax your shoulders. Let it flow down into your arms. Let it be liquid. Let it be pure nectar rolling through to the fingertips. And let it continue to roll down the back, down your spine, relaxing your body. Remember to breathe. Relaxing your sacrum, your lower back. Don't hold your breath, let it go. Let your rib cage release and relax. Come into deep relaxation so that your soul can rise, so that we can meet here as master and master together. Master between masters, yeah? We are here together as divine beings now. So let the soul rise as you relax your body. And let the liquid light continue to flow down through your pelvic bowl. Release any tension in the hips. Any tension in your joints. Let it flow down your legs, into the ankles and out through your feet and your toes. Bring your pure divine essence forward. Let the liquid light take all the dust of the world and bring it back to the core of Mother Earth. Let us all seat ourselves here, unattached to any past or future, simply present, for that is the only way that the divine essence can commune. It knows no past, no future. So let's be silent for a moment, open your hearts, let's tap into the field. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. This is a safe space. Okay. Slowly coming out, opening your eyes. Hold this radiance. Merge with this luminosity. And let me know how you're doing, how you're feeling. If anything has arisen already for you. So this is a very spontaneous transmission. I don't have a script. I don't plan any of these transmissions. But the minute I feel the desire to come on here, I always know that something is coming forward to be spoken into. And you can absolutely, you're so welcome to bring forward what is alive in you in this space right now. It is a powerful moment for all of us to connect purely as essence, purely as divine beings, and to acknowledge the human experience. Yes. So if you feel like there are some things that you feel stuck on and you can't move through, we want to fully be sacred witness to that human experience. We're not here to pretend or bypass that it's not here. We're absolutely here to honor that. And I would love to be of support in any way today. And welcome, Danny. Welcome, welcome. Glad that you were able to catch the activation at the beginning as we connect our energy in the field. So a lot of the things that I do is absolutely illogical. That's the best way that I can explain what I do. If you're new here, my name is Li Ying, and my work is centered upon guiding women on their journey to really embody their divine essence. And when I say embody, that is exactly what I mean. I am really devoted to how you can embody your most high, your most sublime, elevated expression. because I fully believe that we are all here to live as the divine. And in fact, I had this beautiful opening where I distinctly heard the Divine Mother say to me, I desire to live through you. And that forms a powerful tagline that I often share in my work right now, which is the divine desires to live through you, as you, and for you. So we live in this time where things can look really chaotic. The chaos itself is a given, and there is a lot of relativity when we talk about chaos. You can say, chaos can be this for you, and then another person can say chaos can be that. But what we want to acknowledge is that there is a stillness within the chaos that we are asked to tap into. The stillness that we want to feel, we want to connect with. It's not something that is just exclusively for times when we are in meditation. In fact, the meditation or the tea ceremonies that I lead with my clients, that I bring them deep into, is for us to open up a portal where we can almost have this space or this spaciousness where it becomes our training ground of what it feels like to walk so solidly, to be this liquid light that we just experienced. And then we can go out there and embody that. That is the whole idea, basically. It's not for us to bypass. It's not for us to scold ourselves and say, why can't I meditate? Why can't I focus? Why can't I think of nothing? No. That's not at all what this is all about. So I just want that to be very, very clear before we dive into some of the comments that you are already making. So let's see. Randy is saying, I am feeling sad, anxious, and in pain. I had my niece visit me, and now I feel the quiet. I am challenged by multiple chronic illness, and I didn't pace myself well enough when my niece was here for 4 days. So now I'm in a flare and feeling physical and emotional pain. Okay. And then I have Danny. So when you feel super connected to a few certain goddesses or ascended masters, is it possible that they are trying to live through us? Okay. So I'm just pulling all of your comments so that we can start to form the sacred geometry for the transmission that is going to come through today. Okay. So one of the things I see a lot in the world of spiritual development, let's put it that way, is that we tend to take things very literally. When I speak about the divine, I am not speaking about any specific god, goddesses, or archetypes. But that doesn't mean that you don't experience it. Some people really connect with a certain archetype. And when I say archetype, I don't mean them like a psychologist's perspective of like, oh, this is the archetype, this is what you are like. I really feel them as a being. So I want to make that very clear. And to be honest, this is something I deepen into in mentorship, which is there is a difference between light and energy, but they are all connected. So stay with me here, okay? So when we talk about the goddesses or ascended masters, I do feel that, they are literally living through us. And we all have free will to allow the portion, like how much of that you want that to come through. So I have had experiences, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of this so you know where I'm coming from, because everything I share is really coming from a lived experience or something that I know is true. And there is nothing here that I really want to speak of that. It's just something that I've read, or maybe I would touch upon it and I would let you know if that's something that is that way. But here's the thing. 4 or so years ago, I first met Tea Spirit. And it was a time when I was down on my knees and literally asking, praying to the universe to show me a way, because here I was, recovered from 10 years of anorexia and eating disorders. I was starting a blossoming relationship with my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband. And I was, on the surface, it looked like I had the dream job and I'm happy with what I had materially. But within me, I was starting to feel something is missing. And it wasn't something that I could just buy and fill up. And I didn't know what it was. And so I asked the universe, show me the way, because I feel like there's so much more here that I can do, but I'm not sure what it is. And so about a week or so after, I received an invitation, a media invitation. I was working in the media. And so I accepted the invitation to go to experience one thing that's called the tea ceremony. And when I got there, it was nothing like I've ever experienced before. It's not a Japanese tea ceremony. It's not a Chinese tea ceremony. It's rooted in all of those, but the experience itself was highly spiritual for me. And I remember lifting the bowl of tea, and when I was about to drink that tea, I had this flash of vision of my grandmothers and all the ancestors, the female line that I don't even know of, with me. I could see my grandmother, because I recognized her, sitting next to a cauldron and really patiently waiting for the cauldron of tea or soup, because that is the shamanic way of drinking tea, to come to boil. And then I got out of that trance and I heard Tea Spirit speak to me for the first time. She said to me, you have to drop everything you know and go and serve tea. That was about 4 years ago, almost 5 now. I quit my job. I moved out of the city. I gave up all the things that I had planned, up till that point. And I started to serve tea. I literally came from a place where I just wanted to serve. And I was connected deeply with Tea Spirit in a way that has never before, experienced in my life. There were aspects of tea that I studied from there that I just picked up just like that. Almost like I've been doing that for a long, long time. And then when I started to serve tea in groups, because we had the pandemic, we had to shut down everything. I had to sit at home and do this online, like I was serving tea online. I started to hear women feedback to me that they could feel the goddess. They could feel the presence of their late mother, grandmother, whatever late loved ones that have passed into the other realm. And then I started to feel into my own history, my own timelines, all the multiple different dimensions of who I am. I started to see my connection with tea. I started to see that I was once a nun, then I was once a being, a light being who lived on a planet that is called Mintaka, and then I got sent into Earth after the planet got destroyed. I got to see how my ties with my husband were made many, many dimensions away. I say that because I don't believe that we have like past timelines. I believe that we are all going through this in parallel timelines. So that's from my side. but you could call it a past life. Okay? So it is so beautiful when we are able to connect with a spirit that has lived not only on earth, but in the cosmos as well. And T is really my ally, my guide. And 2 years ago, it led me to this place called Isle of Skye. I was holding space for a tea ceremony on the lands. And that was when I heard the Divine Mother speak to me. I desire to live through you. And so yes, Danny, to answer you in a very roundabout way, that is, I definitely feel so. And I think a lot of us actually have the free will. And therefore, what I mean free will is that we are the vessel, that we get to decide how much of that frequency, the light frequency we want to bring in and to channel through. And once you channel it through, it becomes yours. It becomes you. It will affect your aura. It will affect your energy. It will affect your entire being, your physical being, down to your very cell. Every cell of your being. And breathe. Take a deep breath. Sometimes this kind of transmission can be a lot for your body, and I just want you to be very present. Be very, very present. Hello, Selena, and welcome, Chris. So for Randy, circling back to what you're saying, if you're still here, we oftentimes have all the identities as humans that we plug into. Yes, you can be a divine being at the very root of who you are. That would never change. That has never changed. And you have come into this dimension. You have chosen to come into this physical dimension to play. But oftentimes, a lot of us forget that we are here to play. We get plugged into our identities, whether it is as an aunt or a niece or a mother or a social worker or a CEO. And we get very attached to those identities because that defines the ego. The ego finds its definition in those things. And breathe. Okay, I'm going to push some of your buttons, and it's coming from a well-meaning place, and this is going to help you shift your energy. So if you're open to listening, if you're open to this transformation, continue to listen to the transmission, continue to let this energy ripple through you. When we feel things that the mind labels as sad, anxious, in pain, what we're doing is we are plugged into a certain label, a certain identity. And I'm not discounting that you are not feeling it. I am merely saying these are emotions that are meant to move through you. That's all. They're not meant to define who you are. They're not meant to keep you in a place. They're not here to work against you. They're actually rippling through you because they have to move through you, and they have to inevitably arrive somewhere. By the time they arrive, it's like it's expanded the edges of your vessel. And that's when you can hold more energy, you can hold more light, you can hold more. And that can be very physical as well. You can hold more love, you can hold more wealth, you can hold more, all of the good stuff. And so chronic illnesses and all of those things always begin from an energy dissonance. It didn't appear overnight. It started as an energy dissonance. So the invitation here I really feel for you is to really be very honest with yourself about what is it that you are reluctant to see, and to give yourself the love that you crave, to give yourself the attention that you deserve, that you are worthy of, and to be with yourself with the love that you tend to give to others and you don't give to yourself. Okay. So taking a deep breath here, let me know how everyone is feeling. And if you have anything you want to bring forward as well that I can look at and tap into. So while I'm waiting for all of that, let's see if anyone wants to. If not, that's totally fine. I'm feeling a transmission on stillness within the chaos, right? And it's very closely connected to what I often hear a lot, which is, I don't know. I need to wait till everything settles down, then I'll make a decision. Has anyone felt that way as well? Let me know in the comments if that's you. I feel so overwhelmed. I feel so burnt out. I know there is something and there are opportunities, and I feel like, what is it? Tell me, Lindsay, Amber, tell me, what do you often say in your head or to others? What is it? Like, I would really love to know what potential I hold. Like, this divine journey, I would love to understand more. And what I hear a lot of is this sense of, I want to learn to work with energy. I want to learn how to be a frequency first person. I want to be very honoring of my intuition. I want to do all of those things, and I want to learn to tune into my intuition and to be like very, very boldly and undoubtedly and unwaveringly trusting in that and going with that, rather than, giving myself to what the world says that I need to do. That maybe as an entrepreneur, you're thinking, I want to do this, but maybe I should do something commercial. Maybe I should, get a part-time job. Maybe I should, do things that I don't really love, but people say I should because it's going to keep my tank afloat. Like, that could be you, or it could be, maybe the kids need to be back at school and then I can start. Or, maybe when my marriage is a lot more stable, then I can start. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, maybe when I get 2 more clients, then I can start. So if that's you let me know. There's no judgment here. I've been there, done that. And I want you to know that you're being held, and let's see what's going on there, okay? Amber, I am burning out at work and my instinct is to look for another job. But my intuition tells me that's not the answer, that I need to focus on learning my gifts that I can share. Okay, Lindsay, I can't relax until I figure out what my next move is. I'm trying to build a business and the fear of unknown is hard. I'm pushing because it feels real, but it's not easy. Okay. Amber, I started a meditation podcast and it's a fun but scary step. Okay. All right. I'm so loving this. We're so on point. This is exactly it. This is exactly it. I really wanted to tap into this. So let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. Whew, let's take a deep breath. Deep breaths. Firstly, I want you to know that, and I know you know this, but I just really want to drive it home. Firstly, every moment is an unknown. You don't know what's going to happen in the next second. I don't know. Maybe something will fall on my head and I'll die. I don't know. I really don't. Right? And yet we are so scared. We're so afraid of what would happen. What if it fails? What if I left my job and it didn't work out? What if? I started off telling you the story of what I had. I had a job that was paying so well. I was living in Hong Kong. I was living the dream up till that point, and I want you to know that things don't have to go haywire for things to change. This is the first or the second thing I want to tell you. You get to pivot. You get to live a different life, or say sayonara to a life that everyone else will tell you is the perfect life. It's so good. How could you walk away from it? How could you? Because it doesn't align with the evolution of your soul anymore. Full stop. And I want to ask you this question very frankly. You, Amber, Nicole has a message. Let me see that in a bit. But Lindsay, Amber, anyone else who's resonating, who's not typing, if I invite you to be seen. Drop your defenses. Come on in, share with me if you're feeling this, because that is going to be so powerful already for you. But I want to ask you this question, and let's be honest. And take a deep breath. What would be scarier for you? To never ever follow what your soul truly desires? Or following through and discovering what's on the other side? And saying that at every step, every turn, you honored the soul. You honored your soul calling. If you really know that you are a soul, that you are a divine being living a human experience, how could you not? It's like you're selling frequency, but you don't actually believe in it. And whether you call yourself a meditation teacher or a coach, a healer, a teacher, a mentor, a practitioner, your ability to work with the unknown, your willingness to be intimate with the unknown is going to inform how much space you can hold for others. So Nicole says, I feel like once I am healthier, I can pursue studying for a career. Also, I am having people bring negativity and sadness to my daily life, and I'm trying to deal with it lovingly. I'm going to push some buttons here, Nicole. Take a deep breath. The divine desires to live through you, for you, as you. Breathe that in. Ultimately, there is only one of you here. Every person who pushes your button, every person who brings negativity and sadness, they are showing you something. They are showing you something within you. That's all I'm going to say. Amber, not honoring my potential would definitely be scarier. Yes. Lindsay, also to never follow my soul's path is worse, but if it's meant to be, why isn't it clicking? I love this. All right. I want to tell you a story. Can I please tell you a story? All right. The transmission is in the story. Please don't walk around. Be fully present. Be fully present, because my stories always carry transmission. The medicine, the gold is in the story. Okay. So I told you the story about me meeting T-Spirit and then coming into this world and having my spiritual awakening, as you would say in the New Age. 2 years ago, I met the Divine Mother. I felt bliss, I felt grace, I felt all the things. And then swiftly after that, everything crumbled. I no longer resonated with the way I run my business. And so I stopped all the things, the strategies, the marketing, the blah, blah, blah. And I started to write really honestly about my experience and what I was feeling, all the transmissions that was coming through. And lo and behold, it wasn't friendly with the algorithm. So my following stopped, growing, and my likes dropped, and all the ways the ego defines itself were all almost affirming to me, maybe you're not meant to do this. Maybe you're not meant to do this. You're not great at it. Like literally. And the cherry on top of the cake is most of my clients, they didn't renew. And a lot of the people just never responded. I kept showing up, I kept doing the thing and kept wondering what the frack was happening. And I actually came to a point where I contemplated leaving this world. And it wasn't a very depressed or really frustrated state. I was very at peace. I was very, very at peace. And that was the moment when I fully confronted death. Not just physically, but literally the death of my ego. The death of what it meant to be attached to a certain idea or concept that was dependent on how I integrated all my past experiences. I wish I could tell you that it took a few weeks. It actually took me a full year to get out of it. And this is why I can sit here and tell you this, and why I am so passionate about guiding women through this, so that you don't have to spend 1 year, 10 years, forever figuring this out. I went through times when I would be so angry with the divine. I went through times when I would be so angry with myself. Like, why isn't this clicking? Like Lindsay's saying, why isn't this working? If it's meant to work, it should work. Why isn't it flowing in already? When I can see it so clearly in the field, the women, the money, the impact. And you know what? I'm going to tell you right here, what I realized is that I had to unattach from all of that for them to come in. I had to come to a place where I'm not defined by those things for them to come in. I had moments when I thought, oh, what's going to save me is this mentor. What's going to save me is this course on social media, blah, 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 blah. I had all of those moments. And I can tell you 1,000%, your energy is the root of everything. Everything. You can say that you cannot compromise your soul's desire, but then there's something in you that doesn't abide by that. There's something in your energy that is dissonant. It is saying, no, I don't really believe in that, actually. And the more you try to bypass that, the more you try to kill it, like you're angry at it, you're upset with it, you're like, I'm done with that, I'm setting a boundary, I'm not going to look at you anymore. The more you do that, the more it's going to turn its back on you, and the louder it's going to get. You know why? Because that is part of who you are. It's always been part of the whole of who you are. And you cannot cut a part of the whole of who you are. The minute you hide one part, it's going to hide the other part, which is the mind's good part. But my intention really when I work with a woman in mentorship, in deep mentorship, is for you to really not just mentally conceptualize it, but actually understand that nothing is good or bad. You're here to live a human experience. You're here to create from limitless potential. You can create anything, but you have to believe in it. You have to believe in it. And the hardest part for so many people is to really let go of the drama, to let go of the stories that you tell yourself, that people have told you, and to let go of this external simulation. And that's why I'm here. This is the work that we do. Fabiana, welcome. I'm feeling the calling to start sharing something to others and change their lives, but I am not quite sure what it is. Many times Spirit confirms to me that there are hidden gifts to share and activate. I just do not know yet what they are, so I'm kind of stuck. Fabiana, I'm going to push your buttons. Are you ready? Take a deep breath. You do know. How can you not know when you are spirit? How can you not know? You do know. Oftentimes when a client or someone says, I don't know, it's because you're too afraid to face what you do know. You're too afraid to face what that is. You already know what it is. And yes, it is a very real thing that people can be very afraid of their gifts, the immensity of it, the impact it has. And you stall. You prefer to stay in the chaos. You prefer to be lost in the chaos because you're afraid of what impact you can really hold when you really unleash those hidden gifts. So I will ask the same question that I asked Amber and Lindsay. What's scarier? Not honoring your soul, or, just going ahead and following spirit at every step and see what's on the other side? And by the way, everyone, just in case you're wondering, when you're working with the soul, when you're working with spirit, when spirit leads first, you're not going to have the whole view of the lay of the land. That is the way the mind works. If you have the view of the whole lay of the land, you have already done it before. That means you're pressing replay on the past. Do you get this? Can everyone get this? Take a deep breath. This is how the ego works in such an insidious way, even the spiritual ego. You think you need to know? Well, if you do know, well, this is gonna be like this. You're pressing replay on the past. Your ego is constructed purely on the past. That's what the ego is. It's a house of cards. It's constructed on past experiences, emotions attached to it, and stories attached to that experience. The divine essence does not operate from there. Does not. That's why so many times I say this over and over again. It is illogical. When you feel the calling to work with me, it's illogical. It's like someone can see me for the first time and say, I know she's the mentor. I saw her and I know she's the one. And they move. This is the part that your free will is involved. You've got to move. So whatever it is that you're doing, make the move. And I think a lot of you here, I feel this very powerfully, is that you have made the move. You have no problem with taking the move. It's staying the course. It's really unwaveringly deepening into the trust that you are being held, that you're being led, and trusting the lead of spirit. That is where you are. That's why you feel stuck. Can you feel this? It's like you are already asking the questions. You are already ready. But the one who is asking the questions is the mind. The mind wants to figure it out. And quite rightly so, because that's what the mind is designed to do. But while you can use a knife for scraping off butter, you cannot use a knife to scoop a soup up, right? So you gotta know when it's the right time to use a knife and when it's the right time to use a spoon. Yes? So becoming a master, because you are a master, every one of you here, becoming a master requires you to be willing to be lost so that you get to be found, and trained to be a master. This is the real thing. And I'm not saying someone's going to train you. Literally, life is training you. Yes? Life is always inviting you into bigger things. And because we have free will, you can also stay small. Nobody's going to force you. Nobody's going to pull you out of bed and say, hey, you deserve to be, serving the royalties. Come on. Nobody's going to do that. God is not going to do that. God is going to honor exactly what you do. And this whole idea of God being on the wall and God punishing you, God whatever, this is a whole freaking lie that we have to stop. You can call it God, the universe, blah, 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 cosmos. They don't test you. There's no being angry at you or upset with you. They're here to support. That is who you are. You are literally, when you're calling to that, you're praying to that, it's you. It's your higher self. And there are many infinite timelines in the field that I can see for you. And my work here is to hold space for the highest version. The highest version that doesn't need to be fixed. The highest version that doesn't need to be saved. You just need to be activated and then guided through. Yeah? Lindsay, yes. I think I'm feeling you deeply. Because, yeah, I am great at taking the leap, but want to know more. The ego, I change course often. Yeah, I know. I know this. And it's so easy for people to do that these days, right? Like, it's so easy for you to go on social media, go on Insight Timer, and then you see something and then you think, oh, maybe that's for me now. Let's try that out. Because there is no barrier to entry, and there is also, on the other side of the whole game, there is no, what's that word? Like, there isn't any more of those, like how a master and a disciple, like you are ceremonially indoctrinated into the space. You're ceremonially, acknowledged. There is no such thing anymore. And, if you know me, I'm not a fan of like 3-day certification or, courses that teach you such deep ancient wisdom, and in, I don't know, 1 week you're already certified. Like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? Shamans have to traverse like real physical obstacles in order for them to get what they have learned conceptually. And this is the issue that a lot of spiritual practitioners, healers, and mystics are facing, because on one hand, you're so good at holding space for others, but on another, you're not actually taking your own medicine. You're not actually intimate with yourself. And I always say this, I say this over and over again with my clients, because you can always deepen into this work together, is that you can only be as intimate with others as you are to yourself. If you cannot be intimate with yourself, like intimate as in fully present, fully with yourself, fully honest with all your pain and your sorrows, fully with your shit, let's put it that way. If you cannot make eye contact with yourself, what you're doing with others is literally at that same level. And if you think you're helping them because you are secure in this idea that I graduated from this, or I have this book that's going to guide me, or I have this strategy that's going to guide me, that teacher taught me all the strategies, I know what to say, I have a script, blah, 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 then I'm sorry, you've been sorely wasted. Your potential has wasted for a long time until now, yes, because you get to shift now that you're aware. But real contact, deep contact, full contact with yourself and with others is not dependent on a past experience, whether it's a certified course or whether it is a certification, whether it is a strategy or something you read or on ChatGPT or whatever. Not even from me. So take a deep breath. And yes, Caitlin, I think you've been here before. I've seen Gus before on my comments, one of my live sessions. So if you're if you're here again, welcome back. Amber is saying, I will feel overwhelmed and blocked. My practice now is to acknowledge that when it happens and pick it back up, keep moving. Yes. And from where are you moving from? From where you're moving, I guess. Because going in, love the rant. Yes, I mean, it's the transmission, hey? So Amber's words are really bringing forward something, and I would bring this forth, and I think that would be a really powerful way to complete today. You want to be aware of where you're moving from. Because, yes, Amber is just saying my heart, and I think sometimes that's why I need the extra space, is because I have to get myself to the place where I'm actually ready to share. Absolutely. Spaciousness is very important. For you to act as the divine, for you to come as the embodiment of the divine essence that you are, you are actually empty. You have to be emptied so that the light can come through and take up space. So when I say you have to be emptied, literally it is the emptying out of any concepts, any ideas or ideals that are dependent on your past understanding or experiences. And you can empty out and listen. Give yourself the spaciousness to listen, to feel, to let your aura expand from this vortex of stillness. And then you really engage with it. You're not just looking at it, you are in it. You're seated deeply in there. And you will sometimes feel a lot of shit coming up. No doubt about it. You're going to see how petty you were. You're going to see how jealous you were. You're going to see all of that. And that is very important. 100 and 1000% part of the process. Do you know what alchemy is? The alchemists loved the chaos. They loved the shit. You can't have alchemy without the shit. You can't have alchemy without the shit. And alchemy is not going back to what it was. Alchemy is the birth of something completely new. Completely new. It's the unknown being made known. Thank you, Sandra. Deep bow of gratitude to you. So the spaciousness is something we want to work with, and I work with my clients very deeply on this through ceremony. Do you know why? Thank you, Erin. Wow. We do this in ceremony with our beautiful ally, T-Spirit, because I'm human. I acknowledge I am human. I'm fully human. I'm fully divine. And when we have an ally who is so clear and crystalline, we get to really tap in even deeper into the cosmos, into the cosmic wisdom that is available for you without the interference of the human. This is why my clients and I can even commune in our dream. They come to my school in their dreams. And my higher self is like teaching their higher selves there. And I have this really wild story of like how I even met this beautiful woman. And we met physically on Instagram because I was drawn to her for some reason. And then our higher selves had a conversation in the other realm. And we connected and said yes to doing some freaking incredible things. And she hardly knew me. I flew to Milan and I did some incredible things in her store, a beautiful tea ceremony. And we're going to do something again in October. And our friendship continues to blossom. She visited me in Edinburgh. And she's like my biggest supporter. She's shared my work in so many ways. It's the most incredible thing. And it happens because we really started from our energy. We really, really, really worked with our energy first, before everything else. And this is why I'm not discounting anything that you do in the physical. We're not here to bypass those, but I'm saying whatever decision you make, it comes from who you are energetically. So this is my invitation to all of you who are really resonating. If you feel the call, I invite you to book in for a free connection call with me. It's called the Meet Your Majesty call. And then we can go from there. There is no pressure to do anything. But this is something that I invite you into, and I only invite you to come in as your most powerful self, as someone who is ready to invest in yourself through me. And if ultimately you feel like I don't want to do it on the call, that's fine. That's perfect. But give yourself that opportunity to explore what is potentially yours. And this is all I'm here giving you. I'm giving you potential energy. What you do with it is up to you. It's up to you. You can turn a $1 bill into a $1,000 bill. And some people could use a $1 bill and it turns into trash. But it's the same $1 bill. Right? So how is everyone feeling? I am so excited. I have some really incredible things happening in my space. And I want to share that with you. So if you're coming on and you're booking the call already, I am excited to do so with you. I want to chat with you. I want to connect with your energy. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it into the comment section right now. I'm going to give you a minute. Otherwise, meet me on Instagram or meet Your Majesty on my calls. The spaces are very limited, so just book in as fast as you can, as soon as you can. It's my gift to you to really connect. And thank you so much for all of your donations. Oh my goodness. This is so cool. This is so cool. And yeah. How's everyone feeling? How is everyone feeling? I love that you are called Love, by the way. Love saying lean, going in, fire signs, love the rent. Yes. And just to emphasize what Amber just said, yes, it is the pilgrimage of the soul when you work with me, and we really dive deep into the mystery of the heart, because when you really learn to work with the heart, oh my gosh, anything is possible. Anything is possible. You aligning your heart with the cosmos. That is what I'm interested in. And really opening your heart and, taking away all the defenses and the defensiveness and the guardedness, that we have learned to pick up. It's time as women that we come in as legacy makers and we create a new narrative for the multidimensional women out there. No longer suppressing our light, no longer having to mold ourselves into something that we think that society can accept. It's really time for all of us to rise. It's really, really time. And if you are in the service of light, you have this incredible gift to tap into the world, to tap into the cosmos, to tap into what wisdom already is within you. So why sit on it? It's incredible. And my work in mentorship is really to help you to, let's just put it this way. In my presence, you're going to unlearn all the things that do not serve you. And from there, you remember. And then you can deepen into a place where you really learn to create a life of ceremony. I call it a life of ceremony, where you are living this unrealistic life by old paradigm standards. I have women who work with me who are going through some of the toughest stuff, and they're coming out of it in a most amicable way. You would think this is going to destroy the family, but the family is coming through in such a beautiful way. I have women who are working with such a great amount of money in a really powerful way. And they're creating from their hearts. They're moving from their heart instead of thinking, what is the world wanting instead? This is legacy making. We're not here to pander to some algorithm. Yeah, it's time. And the backbone of all of this is that we know that we are being supported because we are the divine living through us, as us, for us. So, love is asking, oh, thank you, Amber. Big love. Love, did you do a 1-week course as well? Or how many years did it take you? No way. No way. I did not do a 1-week course. I am a big proponent and I love mentorships. So I work with my mentor very deeply, at least for a 3-month period, but I usually renew and I renew and I renew and I stick with them and it goes on. So for a year or so now, I would say. And I have my tea teachers who guide me through the more basic and foundational things about loving tea and working with tea. And a lot of times the spirit part of tea really comes through me when I'm sitting with her in ceremony. So the tea that I'm talking about is Camellia sinensis. By the way, they are not herbs, but they are definitely big, majestic trees, really ancient tea bushes. They are the indigenous tea leaves that we are talking about from China, from Taiwan. I mean, they're just incredible things to work with. So I am deeply honored to be their steward, to be their gatekeeper, to be their wisdom keeper. And it's not something that I can talk about, in just one sitting here, but I just wanted to make that very clear because love is asking, and it's a great question, obviously. And so I had to turn away a lot of people who come to me asking for me to teach them tea so that they can serve tea. And I turn them away because it really is a very difficult thing for me to do at this point, where I feel like it's a very dishonorable feeling that's coming up when I'm doing that. I really want you to learn tea, not just from like, oh, how does it taste and how do you make good tea? I want you to commune with her spirit. I want you to commune with her because she has a different transmission for each person. Tea spirit has a different transmission for every person. So you're not going to do tea the way that I do it. But you definitely have to honor the ceremony, you honor the spirit, and you can sit with the spirit, or you can say, hey, Liying, I absolutely want to learn every aspect of it. Yes, then we go. But it's not going to be done in 1 week. Yeah? Okay, I think I have answered everything. Thank you so much, everyone, again, for your participation, for your heart, for your energy, for your light. Keep shining your light. And if you feel that I can support you and guide you, you're welcome to book in for a call. Drop me a DM. I love you. I love you. I love you. Sending you all my love. And I will see you when I see you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Steve. Wow.